Good morning and welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, it's December. We're officially in the holiday season.
Wow, it went by quickly, I can tell you that. But yes, this is the time of year that, one, we are enjoying the festive atmosphere of Christmas, but at the same time, we know there are people out there hurting. I was asked a question, and I'm always asked a question, what's it like for law enforcement during the holiday season? And that's perhaps one of the busiest times for us. And it's while we're out there trying to do some good things, we also see some of the worst that we can possibly see in our communities during those periods of time. And that's something we want to talk about. How can we help those persons in our community who find themselves in hardships at a time when everyone else is enjoying the season?
Right.
And how can we all embrace those circumstances and be there to help bring somebody out of the gloom of the holiday season that we don't talk about a whole lot.
Right, and there are a lot of triggers, and for a lot of people, the holiday season, especially if they've lost a loved one, it's one of those things that they can fall into depression. And therapy used to be very taboo. People didn't want to talk about it, but more and more people are embracing that and the resources that are available.
Oh, absolutely, Shonda. That was one of the things we embarked upon immediately at the Leon County Sheriff's Office with our efforts to make sure that we've got counselors on staff, that we've got resources for our employees, and we want to make sure that the same things are taking place in our community. There's so many social service organizations out there that are willing to help, and sometimes they don't know how to get that help, and that's what we want to talk about today. How can you connect with those resources in our community so that we can build that community we all love and talk about, where wellness is number one thing in all of our minds.
Right, and today we're going to be talking with 211 Big Ben, a brand new executive director over there. So we're going to get to meet him, hear more about his story and those important resources.
Yeah, looking forward to talking about what they're doing and what we can do to help, and what all of us in Tallahassee, Leon County can do to help others who are finding themselves in dire situations as it relates to health and mental health.
Yeah, there are a lot of resources out there. We want to make sure our community is aware of it. So be sure to stay with us. Coming up next, there's 911 and then there's 211. More on the 24-hour resources available in our community next.
Good morning. I'm Captain Jimmy Goodman with the Leon County Sheriff's Office, and this is your Crime Tip Tuesday.
Don't let incoming or outgoing mail sit in your mailbox. You can significantly reduce the chance of being victimized by simply removing your mail from your mailbox every day. Deposit outgoing mail through a number of secure manners, including inside your local post office, at your place of business, or by handing it to a letter carrier. Sign up for informed delivery through the USPS and get daily digest emails that preview your mail and packages scheduled to arrive soon. This free service provides preview images of incoming mail and status updates for both incoming and outbound packages. Become involved and engaged in your neighborhood via neighborhood watches and local social media groups to spread awareness and share information. Keep an eye out for your letter carrier. If you see something that looks suspicious or you see someone following your carrier, call 911.
Have a great week. Stay safe out there.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Welcome back. While the holiday season can be the most enjoyable time of the year, for some, it can be the most depressing time of the year. Joining us now to help us talk about the needs in our communities is the president and CEO of 211 Big Ben, Matt Guse. Matt, tell us about your journey to where you are right now and how you got there.
Well, thank you, Sheriff McNeil, and I appreciate this opportunity. It started when I got out of high school and joined the military. I did that for a number of years, got out, did some time in public education, but what brought me to Tallahassee in 2005 was an opportunity to work for the Department of Juvenile Justice. I worked there for about 3 years before going into early childhood education of all things, which kind of set me down the path to where I am today. Along with early childhood education, I did some work around the Children's Services Councils and moved to Dallas for a short period of time where I worked on veteran issues again, specifically in medical research. So I share that to say that coming to 211 really has allowed me to take the experiences I've had professionally and the things that matter to me and bring them to an organization that's doing a lot of that work under one roof.
Now, Big Ben 211 When you think about that, Christians like myself, you think about it in terms of there being a crisis. Are you guys engaged in providing services outside of a crisis circumstance?
You definitely don't need to be in crisis to give us a call. One of the things that's beautiful about Tallahassee and the surrounding areas is that there are 2,200 providers that we have in our database, which is wonderful, but it can also create a system that's sometimes hard to navigate. So you don't necessarily need to be in crisis, but you may need to know where to start. And by calling us, we can help not just point you in the right direction, but take some information that is your information alone and make sure we're connecting you with the right service.
Okay. Yeah. Now you mentioned that there are a number of social service organizations out there in Leon County and Tallahassee, obviously. But exactly what type of services are you all providing at Big Bend 211?
Well, 211, first of all, we have that. That's our helpline. That's where any member of the community will give us a call, again, to maybe navigate the system, looking for childcare, looking for other assistance. And in that phone line, we just provide referrals. We try to connect them with the right people and send them there. But we also have the 988 Lifeline, which is the National Suicide Prevention Line. We have a Help Me Grow line. Help Me Grow is designed to help parents who maybe have noticed some developmental delays in their child can give us a call, and we can help connect them with an assessment to make sure that that child is where they need to be. My Florida Vets is another important line we do. It's manned by veterans for veterans. So a veteran transitioning out of the military, coming back to their home, or just in some general need, they can get on the phone with another vet and help them navigate to where they need to be. And then finally, we have the Florida HIV/AIDS hotline, and then Family Health Line, which is for new and expecting mothers trying to understand what it takes leading up to the birth and then what needs to happen after the birth. So we have 6 lines in total. Some of them are very targeted, but if you call 211, we can connect you with any one of those lines.
Wow. And there's a whole variety of things you just talked about and agencies you're engaged with. But what seems to be the most important or most urgent call that you get?
Well, it's pretty clear. In our community, housing is number one, and housing consists of short-term rentals, rental assistance, along with housing, utilities, transportation, mental health, and food are the top 5. So a lot of the really core needs that people have, they'll call us about, but mental health is always in the top 5 as well.
You know, I always get the question, I think I share with Shonda, that during the holiday season, you know, we are really busy. We get a lot of calls. What happens with you all during the holiday seasons? Is that your busiest time of the year?
It depends on which line. So like with 211, we do see a little bit of an uptick in calls for food banks or food pantries, that sort of thing. When I first got to the organization, I asked the same question, really around the suicide line, around 988. And the team there shared with me that it's not so much during the holidays, but after the holidays. People have spent time with their family, they've had a good time, and then all of a sudden everyone's gone. So that's when we might see an uptick, maybe in a mental health or a suicide line after the holidays. But it is hard to predict, and we are there 24/7, 365 if anyone calls.
Well, Matt, we are so happy you're back in Tallahassee, Leon County, and we're looking forward to all the things that Big Bend 211 is going to do. Ahead, an important message for anyone who might be feeling hopeless. Stay tuned.
The Leon County Sheriff's Office is the proud recipient of the 2023 International Association of Chiefs of Police SIMSI Leadership in Law Enforcement Research Award for their groundbreaking work on the anatomy of a homicide research project. This award recognizes law enforcement agencies that demonstrate excellence in conducting and using research to improve police operations and public safety. The Anatomy of a Homicide Research Project, a commitment to understanding crime, developing strategies based on evidence, and ultimately shaping a safer Leon County. Congratulations to Sheriff Walt McNeil and the dedicated team at the Leon County Sheriff's Office for setting the standard in law enforcement research.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
We're back with President and CEO of 211 Big Bend, Matt Guse. Matt, one of your missions is to prevent suicides. Tell us about 988 and how it works.
It's the national hotline for suicide prevention. A few years back, I believe it was a federal initiative, and it came down to the different communities, and 211 Big Bend mans that 988 line for, I believe, 18 surrounding counties. So really it is a separate, like 211 is, you can dial those numbers, 988 will immediately connect you with somebody who is ready to assist and talk with a caller who is maybe thinking about contemplating suicide. So our crisis counselors are prepared, they're dedicated to that line, and if you're somebody who has those thoughts or is considering that, we really want you to give us a call. We have, I think it's kind of a big number, 300 calls a month to that line. So there's clearly a need out there. The good news is when someone calls our line, 98% of the folks that we work with, the callers, don't need any additional services or any additional help after that call. It certainly doesn't mean our work is done after one call. We could follow up, we could help them connect with services, but that is a critically important thing that our organization is providing to this community.
Well, that's fantastic, man. So what's the impact that 988 and 211 is having in our community?
I think, Sheriff, the thing that I don't think a lot of people know is that there is no eligibility criteria. These calls are confidential. It is a place where somebody who is having any level of crisis can call and not feel like they have to present all their personal information to get served. It can remain as confidential as it needs to be. So it's a place that if you call, there is no judgment. We are there to help, whatever the situation is, whether it's a 988 call or a general request for services. It's no judgment. We just want to help anyone who gives us a call. I think that's the benefit to this community.
Wow. Matt, you know, the city and the county are both embarking upon trying to do some things with the homeless population out there. And we've got persons in our community, obviously, that are homeless. We got people who have depression. What kind of advice or you want to share out there with persons that are suffering from either of those problems in our community?
It's a great question, and I think, again, it goes back to calling the place, and we are this place, where getting assistance and navigating the wealth of services we have in this community is a great place to start. You know, from a personal perspective, even thinking back to some times when I was looking into the mental health arena in this community and having insurance and having the means to be able to pay for those things, it was still a complicated system. So I think using us as an organization to help guide people through, especially in the situations that you just provided, you know, it could result in us providing some opportunities for temporary housing if you're homeless. Mental health is often one of those things people don't talk a lot about. So having somebody, or they don't feel that there's anybody within their family that they're comfortable speaking with. So again, going back to the fact that we are a line that does not judge, won't even ask for your real name in most cases, to be able to have those conversations. And we also launched on our website a mental health directory, which allows people to go, again, anonymously, put their information in, tick a bunch of boxes that relate to them, and it will provide a listing of mental health professionals in the community who are currently accepting new patients. So it's certainly a big issue. As I mentioned earlier, it's one of the top 5 things we get a call about is mental health, and we have a ton of not just trained staff, but other resources to help.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about in Leon County Sheriff's Office is how important it is that we have engagement by all of our citizens, knowing what we're doing and what we're trying to do. We call that all in. So tell me about the community. What type of support do you need from our community to address some of these issues?
I think first and foremost, and it's going to sound silly, but it's the world we live in. We need people to follow us on social media and help spread the word. I am of the opinion that, you know, the more people that follow us could result in that person who needs us seeing that posting. So follow us, share our posts. We have an annual event that's coming up in February, on February 16th, called Night of Hope. It's the one fundraiser we do all year round. If somebody is so inclined, they can go to our website, 211bigbend.org, for more information. But I think first and foremost, we need to make sure that everybody in the community is aware of who we are and what we do. Whether they use us ever or not, it could be a resource for someone close to them.
Matt, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you being on the show. The information you share with us is invaluable, and thank you. And we'll try to get you back on the show again. Up next, in our Deputy on Duty, they've dedicated hundreds of hours volunteering with the LCSO. We're talking to two of our reserve deputies about how they just can't seem to get enough. Stay tuned.
In times of stress such as quarantine, what goes on behind closed doors can be terrifying. But you don't have to suffer in silence. Help is here. Love is not controlling. Love is not frightening. And love is not violent. Love is respect. If you need assistance or just want to talk, we are here. In Florida, call the Domestic Abuse Hotline at 800-500-1119 to speak to someone in your area. Or for more information, email the Domestic Violence Coordinating Council at dvcctally@gmail.com.
On this episode of Deputy on Duty, we introduce you to two of the unsung heroes of the Leon County Sheriff's Office's Reserve Unit, Lieutenant Billy Fair and Lieutenant Laura Alley. Together, they have nearly 80 years of service with LCSO.
I'm retired. I have the luxury of being able to do this. You know, this keeps me going.
And the day after I retired, on April the 1st, I became a member of the Reserve Unit. And I have been ever since.
That's right. They are both retired and are true examples of being all in for their community by being part of LCSO's Reserve Unit.
There really is no difference because I take this job just as important or just as serious as I did whenever I was working for a living.
We don't have assigned duties, so it's whatever event you may be involved with on a given day. And we don't have shifts, we don't have schedules.
LCSO's reserve deputies are sworn and they attend training along with fellow full-time deputies. They play a crucial role in maintaining safety at various events and supporting the community, like delivering meals to homebound, food-insecure seniors. This is part of Meals on Wheels. Now, during his employment with LCSO, Lieutenant Fair supervised the reserve unit. He remembers and respects the value they bring to the agency.
A lot of events that we had to cover would have never been able to do without the reserves. The reserves were, at that point in time, our lifelines to cover some of these events, to take care of the county and the citizens, such as the nonprofit organizations that we support, the foot races, the events that Tallahassee enjoyed going to. We wouldn't have been able to cover it and provide safety without the reserve unit.
Many reserve deputies do have full-time jobs, and they still volunteer with the agency. It's a way to keep their law enforcement certifications or gain valuable on-the-job experience. Others are retired law enforcement officers who just want to continue their call to service.
The true heroes are the ones that works 40 hours a week and still finds a way to come out here and donate their time without argument, without cause, whenever it's needed.
Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth.
Lieutenant Alley emotionally connected to the idea of giving back. She started her career as an intern with LCSO while she was a college student at Florida State University.
I came to FSU to be in the circus. In 1979, in the circus, I didn't go to Callaway Gardens, and I was able to fit into, at the last minute, an internship. I was a criminology major by then, and an internship at the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
She emphasizes the significance of time and dedicates herself to volunteering even on holidays to ensure fellow deputies can spend precious moments with their families.
I would come in on holidays and work the duty office so that whoever on shift was assigned could be out in the field, because they frequently allow them to have their holiday meals with their families.
And reserve deputies commit to giving 16 hours each month to the agency. Their collective efforts result in approximately 12,000 donated hours annually. That saved taxpayers more than $300,000 a year. And in a world where time is so valuable, These reserve deputies exemplify the true meaning of service and sacrifice while not only enhancing public safety, but enriching the community spirit.
The biggest thing is to me, is enjoy your life, enjoy your job, enjoy the people you work with.
My mother raised me to believe that the time is more valuable than money. You never get more time. And the time you can donate to others, that's why we're here. And this I can do.
For more information on ways you can serve as a volunteer, as a civilian, or a sworn officer, just visit our website, leoncountyso.com. I'm Angela Sherrod for Leon County Today.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, our reserve deputies, some of them are retired deputies or retired law enforcement members who still just want to be very involved in the field.
Sean, I tell you, I am so proud of our reserve deputies. In fact, many of the things we do, we could not get done without their assistance. People don't realize it, but when they go to those football games during the football season, many of those persons out there are reserve deputies who are engaging and taking time out of their family life to come out there and serve the citizens of Leon County. We also, there are so many programs and issues that we have. Every time we put on an event out in the community, you can almost be guaranteed that there's going to be a reserve deputy there that's involved and engaged. And not only that, but they also work in our community. They sometimes come out and ride along with the deputies and are involved in making arrests and those kind of things. So they are engaged in full service, not only to the Leon County Sheriff's Office, but out there to the community. At the same time, they're doing their other jobs, their other involvements in the community with their families and what have you. And they take that time out to dedicate special time to be back engaged with the Leon County Sheriff's Office. It just speaks volumes of the need to have people like that who put on a uniform on a weekend and come out there and engage with law enforcement. We really couldn't do what we do without them.
Yeah, volunteering their time. And then 211 Big Ben, I think a lot of people think it's a number that you can call in crisis or when you need specific, if you have suicidal thoughts, but there is such an array of services they offer.
Yeah, I was surprised at the volume of things they're engaged in. In fact, we perhaps will do a better job ourselves in the Leon County Sheriff's Office in engaging with them and seeing how we can partner so we can have a greater impact on the community. And I'll reach out to our sister agencies, TPD and others, and see if we can all engage and see what they're doing so we might improve our delivery of services. And that includes all the service organizations in our community. We want to partner with all of you, but certainly this one in its special niche that they have with respect to 988 and 211.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Sheriff. And thank you all for tuning in for another episode. We will see you back here next week.